Maybe you've done a good thing.
That's actually okay. So, go ahead.
Maybe.
Damn it.
No,
Keeps going.
you take it.
I was just gonna say that is something I kind of would like to see explored more. Is the idea of at the risk of making myself sound like an ass, robot husbandry. There's really not a lot of like using the robots.
Husbandry, you say?
That's what I was afraid of. What I meant was like there's nobody really using the robots and like giving them blaze or whatever to have them be domesticated. It's just Aloy and her magical ability to summon a mount, but nobody else seems to really use the robots. They just hunt them for parts, and then there's human society fully separate from the robots. But there's no robot-human integration. Nobody has found any domesticated robots of any kind. And I know that there are some story reasons for that, given the nature of the machines, but you would think that you would be able to like have some semi-domesticated animal that you could use for a plow or something, and then just feed it blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, because humans are crazy. Like they'll absolutely mess with anything that's around if they can get bring a little bit of utility out of it.
You wonder if it did exist like that, if maybe some of the more docile creatures were originally domesticated somehow, but then the derangement of the machines, which is like part of the whole plot line of the Hades taking over and Hephaestus going nuts. You wonder if, like, maybe that made it so the domesticated machines all left and tried to kill everybody, so they stopped doing that. And remember, like, the Corruptors have only been active since, like, Hades started doing shit, and that was only, like, 10 years ago in this timeline, so...
So we're not trying to romance the Sun King.
I mean,
I don't think we can if we even wanted to.
Right,
but
wasn't there that thing?
If we could, we've done the thing that would have made it possible.
Okay.
I'll be lucky if I let you live.
I'm just trying to keep track. Trying to get some of that Sunny D of what's happening with him. He's one of the few characters I can recognize.
With my assessment.
I was wondering what that was.
All right.
You ever do that thing where like you're trying to get some gunk off your monitor, and then like the camera cuts to a character, and suddenly it looks like you're going like Gucci Goo?
No.
Or is that just an experience I get?
I think that's just you.
You're the only person, the sole human being to have that experience.
Damn it.
But you knew that when you were going to bring that up,
campfire.
that was going to happen.
Yeah.
No, I thought honestly it was a global human experience that we've all had that event.
It's like who was going to bridge the aisle
Sunfall.
in the Great Culture War.
We're running out of fast travel packs, Josh. You gotta start rationing our fast travel.
I mean, I can craft them, so.
While we're talking about,
Also,
like,
actually, I'll bet I can solve that when this loading screen ends, when our suffering ends.
while we're talking about like weird ass domestication, so I'm running a Dungeons and Dragons game for some family members that have never played the game before. And the premise of it is that they've entered a valley that's haunted, that like is cursed. You can't leave it. It's always nighttime, and all of the villagers and everybody is just a skeleton that's going around their daily routines, like harvesting equally insalubrious-looking wheat, for example. And one of the questions, like I had to think about when I was creating this world is, so there are people that are trapped in this valley, like the player characters. How would they use beasts of burden? Because somebody's going to want to, like, grab a bunch of stuff, salvage from a village, and get it out, like, with a cart. But all the horses and stuff are sort of trapped in their old routines, because they're skeleton horses. So how would you do that? And the solution I came up with is just basically they get clerics that can turn undead, and you can do that infinitely in 2nd edition. And they just, so, you know, that's a power where you raise up your holy symbol, and, like, the dead back away from you and try to flee away. So they just get the clerics to get on the driver's seat of the wagon, have them turn undead, and then just, like, hang on like hell. And it was kind of fun watching the player characters try to figure this out as well.
Okay, so after that little side diversion, we're back here in Sunfall, and we're gonna finally stop ignoring Silence's incessant badgering and go do his quest.
The balustrade
It's a short drop from there.
Yay! Does this mean we get to hear more Zavala?
Yes.
Yay, Zavala!
It's still weird to me that you keep calling him by that particular role.
I mean, is it?
I mean, Zavala's like fucking Destiny characters. Who cares about Destiny characters?
Careful, Josh.
I care a lot.
Chris, try to summarize the Destiny lore in one sentence.
It's very important that you hear what I'm about to
Oops,
say.
we forgot.
That's a pretty good summary, actually.
Marks the point of no return. Before you descend into the
Because I'll be honest, I have no idea what the fuck Destiny is about. I think there's a moon,
Nobody
and like
does.
an alien race came back or something.
to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tell you why.
So,
Is that
the way Silence is talking about this implies that this is some kind of point of no return, but it's not. You don't fail any side quests by not doing them before this. In fact, you can't fail side quests in this game at all. There's nothing. It doesn't like change anything super
I've
significant.
spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from.
It does set up a quest that changes an area that you have to do, like, and clear that before you can do quests in that area again. But like, it's not the end of the universe.
Walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the
Well, that's right. Silence is Cedric Daniels, right?
Voila. For her,
Yeah.
all the deepest secrets
Who?
of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an
Cedric
easier
Daniels,
time with
The
this
Wire.
door than I did years ago.
Oh,
Hold for identiscan.
oh, Lance Reddick. Yeah, okay. No, we're all talking about
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
guy. I just call him Zavala, and you call him Cedric Daniels.
Right. You know, one of us is referencing one of the greatest and most insightful commentaries on our culture ever produced, and the other one's talking about The Wire.
Elizabeth Sobeck here, requesting access.
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I really want to see someone. I'm not sure if I want to see someone ironically pretending that Destiny is on like the level of The Wire as a cultural artifact, or if I prefer to see someone unironically arguing that. But I think I want to see one of them.
I mean, look, I still think Destiny could have been good.
Oh yeah,
I'm the
definitely.
weirdo that defends it.
Were they only to not completely fuck it up at every opportunity? Yes, it could have been good.
Sure. Step one, get me access to the game's audio files and let me do a comedy dub of it.
But there's nothing to
Rutskarn
dub.
voices all characters.
We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Like, there's not really any meaningful cutscenes. It's just all ghosts talking to you and lore updates.
Would you be a good Dinklage bot or a bad Dinklage bot?
He hasn't been voiced by Peter Dinklage in like 5 years, man.
I don't care.
They removed it
Still the
completely.
Dinklebot.
0 dawn.
Yeah.
We found it.
It's so weird.
Really so surprised?
Like, how wasn't that a bigger deal that, like, they got one of the most award-winning actors of our time to do voice acting for their game, and then they just, like, fucking cut it out?
No, they fuck this up all the time. It's like Cade 6, who is voiced by Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion.
Right? Like, well, the most latest DLC, Forsaken, kills off Cade, and that's not a spoiler. That's how they announced the damn thing. And not only does it kill off Cade, he's no longer voiced by Nathan Fillion. He's voiced by what's his name? Guy, what do all the voices now?
Nolan North is voicing
Nolan
Cade
North.
as well.
Yes.
Didn't Nolan
that's the
North
great
also
thing.
take over after Peter Dinklage?
Yes. So Nolan North
Yeah,
is now doing
he is
like,
the Dinklebot.
Yes.
Slowly, Nolan North is killing all the Hollywood actors.
Nolan North is gradually doing the comedy dub of the game.
So we got some text stuff that I'm just picking up and showing here. If you want to
So
pause
here's,
the video and read these
I have a
things.
serious question, because we all talk about sometimes how voice actors often, like, know very little about what they're getting into, and, like, don't even know what game they're working on. So here's a question. If you just, like, created your video game, like a normal AAA video game, like, you know, regular cast of characters, and you set up like a regular recording schedule for all of the dialogue, and then you just hired Nolan North to do every single character in the entire game, so that the story is told 100% through Nolan North's voice acting, do you think Nolan North would even notice?
Yeah, I would imagine he would remember doing some of the lines.
Figure it out.
You say that, but like if he says like, you wait here, I'll go ahead one day, and then like 3 days before he said, okay, you go ahead, or no, like okay, I'll go ahead. You wait there. He's not gonna remember that.
If you're talking about barks only, like no cutscenes, no character names, no anything, just like, wait here, I'm gonna check it out. Wait, no, jump grunt, like just that, like straight video game dialogue stuff. Maybe you could have him do it in a bunch of different voices, and then he wouldn't notice.
What is like a reasonable level of complexity where he would definitely notice is the question. Like, because I think with like the level of complexity that's involved even in most like scripted cutscenes where the plot is moved forward, I think that there's like not enough like sizzling narrative cohesion that if you recorded like the third line, the fifth line, the first line, then the second line, the fourth line, or whatever, you would necessarily like remember, if this is your day job, that there's like a continuous thread to all of it.
So I'm gonna have to stop you there because we're about to walk into one of the more important cutscenes of the game. So if you can put this on hold for just a second.
CD-N1 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint
Like,
Chiefs
there is a
of Staff
reason
of the
I have
United
held
States
off
of America.
doing this
I'm sure
until
you've
you
heard
were
the
here,
rumors.
Rutskarn, and
Zero Dawn
this
a
is
top-secret super
the
weapons
reason
program,
why.
The technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a super weapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was...
Oh, that generic background music.
Yeah.
Technological revelation.
Very Mass Effect.
MP4, MP3.
I like pretending it's diegetic, like he's actually, like it's coming from the hologram, and he was actually talking over this ominous music.
Do we have any original
part of his
compositions we can use for the
presentation, where he
speech where I say
explains
that
everything.
humanity's doomed? Just pull something off Kevin
No
MacLeod.
matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more.
Should we attribute it? Fuck it.
If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down.
Credits appear
entire
in the
swarm.
background as a
But since
hologram.
their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century.
Well, that was definitely some technobabble you just made that voice actor
We've got
read.
16 months. Not exactly
He didn't blink.
much.
Gotta give him that much.
The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating,
Right.
waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies.
Wait,
of
is this like a
Operation
twist?
Enduring Victory.
Yeah.
My lies. Lies
No, it's
designed to
not.
inspire
They
millions
basically
of
spelled
innocents
this
to
out
sacrifice
earlier.
themselves in battle.
This is the part where they make it explicit.
One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist.
The part
is
where we
coming
get the
fast.
fucking Zero
It cannot
Dawn
be stopped.
title
The hope
explanation.
of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
Yeah, I completely 100% got all of this from the cutscene earlier, where like Elon Musk was talking to not Aloy.
On Earth didn't cease to
Like
exist.
100%. I feel like that was communicated by that cutscene to the point where I was actually waiting for like the new information to come out. And keep in mind, I am not attentively minding every moment of this game. I am a poor audience. I don't know.
So, okay, so what is Project Zero Dawn then?
They got in.
Okay, so here's my understanding of what's happening, setting aside buzzwords. Like, so they fucked up, the robots were gonna swarm and take over everything. Elon Musk is like, hey, find a way to fix it. Aloy, not Aloy is like, we can't fix it. It's gonna happen. The world's gonna get taken over by robots. Basically, the only thing we can do is set up, like, hope for life to exist in the future, where, like, there'll be some sort of project for humanity to return, or for, like, some kind of ARC project. That's my guess about that part, because I don't think that has actually been explicitly spelled out in either of those cutscenes.
Yeah. The one thing we don't have yet, and I'm hesitant to bring it up, is the... Well, I won't spoil it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of... Well, we will very soon be getting to that, but we've got a couple of audio logs to go through here. First, from various people who will become important minor characters, and some who will not.
Understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, U.S. Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though
I don't know why this is even here. I thought they were goodies.
I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Let me... What are you even grabbing onto? Go down here, activate another one of these.
So, wait, go back to that. Oh, never mind.
What? To the
that thing you just
to the
climbed
audio
up.
log? Oh yeah, I'm going back up there.
This feels like a weird-ass compromise to their climbing system. Any other game would let you just turn and climb that ledge. Instead, you have to jump and drop.
I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her
There's a lot of times I got stuck on jumping puzzles just because of the logic of the climbing just made no sense to me. And usually it's in the cauldrons.
It's weird. The climbing is the thing that does not feel good in this game. Like, most of the other movement stuff feels fine, but the climbing is just, like, consistently not great.
compliments your team tracked me down. Been impressed on my
Like, how many times have I missed, like, a bit on the like, where you're supposed to jump across a ledge, and I jumped when I shouldn't have, and you were just, and it would have just done it if I'd sticked over to it without jumping, and I fell over and, like, died, or I didn't jump when I should have and fell to my death, and stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't, needed a few more months in the oven, I think.
And I hate to hark on it, but like this, like when you have Breath of the Wild, and we've been spoiled with Breath of the Wild's like climbing system, you're gonna get frustrated with this game, and then like look to the other one that just came out that's way better.
Yeah, this game, which is very much like Assassin's Creed
or,
1 or 2, is like climbing system.
Even Assassin's Creed has moved towards Breath of the Wild style. You can climb pretty much anything. And if you're going to do the cinematic climbing, make all the climbing matter. Like that's something that Uncharted actually does very well. Is they very much put a lot of design and animation into how they want to handle their climbing.
It is very strange. And General Harris, what was he talking about? The robot swarm, the Pharaoh plague? I understand it is terrible. But it really cannot be stopped? Why tell us this? There are people in Shanghai, my friends, my family, they have joined Operation Enduring Victory already.
Just...
It is for nothing? We will all die? We're going to be able to answer some of these questions. I just want to know why I am here.
I guess what bugs me about the exposition dumps here, more than anything, is like... Especially given that you already have Aloy as a clone of you know who, Sobek. why do
That has
we
not
have
officially
these?
been confirmed by the game yet either, though it will.
It's been all but confirmed. Much like what Zero Dawn is. She has the same DNA. My point is more just like, this is such a terrifying, like, how do I put this? I am someone who gets really freaked out by, like, Cloverfield, and Cloverfield is not a scary movie, but just, like, facing that level of doom, of absolute, you will not beat the odds, you are screwed, is like a terrifying existential fear to me, and I kind of, sort of like how people used to have nightmares about nuclear war, like, just that level of fear is terrifying.
It's exactly the thing that Soma taps into.
Yes. Well, Soma, I guess Soma took this and also added, like, a comet and and an underwater lab and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I love... I kind of love the terror of being trapped in Doomsday and waiting for the inevitable. And there's something fundamentally scary about that. And yet, all we're doing is hearing about it. We're not seeing it.
Or we're not getting, like, an emotional reaction from Aloy that is representative of that.
That the game really has no mechanical language for communicating the idea of being trapped.
Oh god, Josh.
I like to find stuff to do while waiting for these things to go.